Hi, my name is Kuda,
My name is Apiorkor,
and you're watching Citi Scape on Citi TV.
and today we're talking about double dating within our context in Ghana. Why do people date two people at the same time?
You heard it, double dating. Not you and another couple going out. Dating two people at the same time. All right, that's what we're talking about today. So, new location.
Yes, we have a new location.
How do you feel about this one?
Oh, I'm loving it, especially for the topic that we're doing. I think it's just getting down, dirty, and straightforward with the issues.
I know. The only thing I'm not too happy about is the sun, but I will survive.
Yeah.
For the topic, I will survive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive right into it. What's important is to firstly explain what double dating is to people, because I feel like elsewhere it means something completely different.
Of course.
But in our country, it means something else. So what is double dating?
Okay, so if you searched any dictionary online or you picked up a dictionary in your home and you looked up double dating, it would define it as two couples going out together, having a drink, having a meal, just so that you get a sense of some kind of a communal experience.
Right.
Okay, but within our context, when we say double dating or multiple dating, then we're talking about somebody, male or female, who is dating or seeing two people or more at the same time.
At the same time.
Yes.
So like a man seeing two different women
at the same
dating
time.
them at the
Exactly.
same time, and vice versa.
Yes, or a woman seeing
dating
two different men or at the same time. Yes.
So how prevalent do you think this is in our society? Firstly, that's first
Please
question.
let me take my shades off.
Okay, I'm gonna give you, from a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think it is, or how good do you think it is?
Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best or the worst.
1 being the best.
Okay, 10.
10 out of 10.
Extremely prevalent. I would even say 11, please. 11 over 10.
Why do you say that?
First of all, I want to say that I think it's something that's very much etched into our culture and our social space. I'm going to be a bit of a conspiracy theorist and say that it has a lot to do with our polygamous history.
Right.
This thing about monogamy, one man to one woman, it wasn't really our culture. The history books would tell you, the literature books that paint your history, our history for us, will tell you that polygamy was very much accepted in our society. And even presently, we have 3 different types of marriage by law. We have the Mohammedan or the Islamic marriage, we have the traditional marriage, and then we have the ordinance, where you go to court. And under the ordinance, it's one man to one woman, And so you can even be prosecuted if you attempt to marry another man or another woman while you're under ordinance. With a traditional marriage, it actually, doesn't have anything against polygamy. A man can marry more than one wife, but he should be in agreement with his wife, and he should be able to take care of all these wives equally.
So can a woman marry more than one man in our culture?
No, no. I'm sure there are isolated
cases. I asked that to be a bit silly.
Yeah, I'm sure there are isolated cases. Maybe one day we'll hear about it in the news. Somebody put a video on social media interviewing someone. But no, typically it's always been polygamous. So one man with more than one woman.
Let's go all the way down in there. Okay. In your experience, going out to different places, I'm sure you're very social. You go out to different events, different restaurants, you see different things every single day. Do you see that it's a norm for us?
It is.
So say you're in an environment and a certain gentleman is with one woman, then she leaves, and then the next thing another one comes in, sort of thing. Do you think people frown upon it at all, or it's just sort of, it is what it is?
I think that there are a great number of people who are not happy about it, and they don't like it. They wouldn't like it happening to them. But then I also find that a lot of those people are okay with it. They do it. So it's like a double standard kind of thing. So I don't want it happening to me, but I will do it to someone else, And like you said, you go out, you know that this man is married or he's in a serious relationship, or this woman is in a serious relationship or is even married, and you see them with different people. And it's not just that they're sitting down sharing a coffee or a beer.
Right.
They're sitting, I mean, the woman's sitting on a man's lap.
They're intimate.
Yes, they are. Very
In front of
compromising situations and you know, scenarios sometimes. And people think it's okay. And so because of that, so if it's a woman who is seeing more than one man at once, you know, she is more comfortable going out with a certain group of her friends as opposed to the other, because this group that she's going out with are okay with it, they're all doing it, and the other group frowns upon it. And it's the same with the men, you know. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the men to do it, because if you don't, you're an outcast. And it has nothing. I've heard people say, oh, the more money you have, the more likely you are to womanize, you know, quote unquote. That's the term we use, a womanizer, you know. But
which I think is neither here nor there.
It's not, because I've seen people, excuse me to say, lower and the lowest classes of our society, and they talk about it like, hey, and oh, where's your wife? Oh, she's not my wife. She's not my wife. It's my girlfriend. My wife is at home, or my wife works in Takrady. She'll come at the weekend. You know, this is your mechanic or your mason, or the person who comes to do the plumbing in your house. And by economic standards in our space, again, these people don't earn so much, unless of course they have some kind of big establishment or it's something that's been handed down from generation to generation in their family.
Right.
But you also see the minister, the doctor, the lawyer, the lecturer doing the same thing. You know, so you go to the restaurants and you see this man say, this man, he's my dad's friend or my uncle's friend.
And I know his wife.
But that's not his
her.
wife. And again, the situation looks very compromising. The scenario is almost uncomfortable. So you don't even know whether you should go and greet or not. Maybe you cry when you went.
You don't even know if you should eat,
You saw uncle, you say, hey, let me go and ask uncle to buy me food. And it's like, should I not?
Sure.
You know? So it gets very, very dicey, and it is very prevalent.
Second Image International admissions in progress. Courses available include hairdressing, beauty therapy and fashion. Call us on 0243 331 999. Evening and weekend classes are also available.
So what's your take on this? In my opinion, and I may be wrong, it may just be I feel okay with doing it, therefore I do it. But I feel like it has a lot to do with your self-worth as a person. And I mean this in the sense that, be it a man, be it a woman, you are able to, on a daily basis, see two different people, talk to these two different people about your life, about your day. Yes, you may not be getting into like things that happened to you 10 years ago, whatever the case is. You may not be getting that deep, but you're still sharing your everyday lives with two different people, right? You have to remember everything you say to these two different people. You have to separate everything in your life with these two different people. You're kissing two different people. You're being intimate with two different people. You're getting butt naked in front of two different people. Two different people know everything about you.
Inside and out, physically, emotionally, mentally.
Absolutely. And you're having these sexual encounters with these two different people. I feel like that has to do with your self-worth in a sense. The way you look at yourself and how much you value your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, which has to do with your mind, and your body, and just your inner being. I feel like you maybe don't value all these aspects as much.
I agree with you. I agree with you to a large extent. Now, for me, I don't mind showing cleavage. I don't mind wearing a short dress. I don't mind wearing a belly top during the times that I've done enough exercise on my tummy. You know, but to get completely naked in front of somebody, that's a different story. And I feel like my birthmarks, my beauty spots that are in intimate places, you know, all these things that go with intimacy, I'm sharing that with somebody. And I think that's intimate enough, because now, okay, oh, how did you get this mark here? How did you get this mark on your left boob? How did you get this mark on your lower back? And then I have to tell a story that is a part of me,
right,
you know.
That's shaped who you are.
And you're sharing this with two different people. And I feel that if you value your story and you value your privacy to some extent. Look, with the advent of social media, and you and I work in the media space, so a lot of our lives are out there, or is out there, okay? And you know, you're already sharing so much of yourself with so many people.
The world, basically.
I feel like the little that you have left, you should preserve it. But now, if you don't think it's something to preserve, of course you're not going to have a problem getting naked in front of 2 different people, you know, or letting them see your lady bits or your man parts.
Right.
No, you're not going to see anything wrong with it. And I think it also has a lot to do with the way we see sex and sexuality, you know. A lot of people tend to, especially in the space that we are, I don't know if it's because we don't talk about it enough. I don't know if it's because we attach so much, it's weird, we attach so much sanctity to sex and sexuality, but at the same time we disrespect it so much. It's very paradoxical for me, you know. But maybe it's because we don't talk about it enough. Maybe it's because if we did talk about it,
shy away from it.
If we did talk about it, then we'd be able as a society to understand exactly where it falls. But because it's all under the wraps, we can't really tell where the fine lines are.
Right. And what it means to actually share that part of you with somebody.
Exactly. And I feel like if we did that and if we understood that better, then we would see sex and sexuality and intimacy as something more sacred,
right?
You know, and something that needs to be shared with someone who deserves it, first of all, and not just something that's for fun. You know, you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, you know, we are just having sex for fun. You're just doing
just because I can." You know?
Exactly.
And we're not saying it's not okay to do that.
No,
you are allowed to.
I mean, I'm not
explore.
judging anyone. I just feel like
if you've made a conscious decision to share your life, right? Maybe it's not your life because it's just a relationship and you're not married yet or anything of that sort. But if of your life with one person, then why do you feel the need to share? Why is that one person not enough?
You see, and for me, it's also about the dishonesty. I spoke at the beginning of this conversation about our history. Polygamy wasn't hidden. It was something that society knew about, okay? And so if a man was going to be with these 3 different women, the whole society knew that these 3 women were his women, and that each of those women belonged to this man,
right?
You know, it wasn't, I go and make a promise to you, but I'm doing something with someone else. And in many of these situations, you see that if it's a woman with 2 different men, she's promised the world to this man and promised the same world to this one.
Absolutely.
And same with the men, promised all this to this woman and same thing, and sometimes even more to the next woman. So where do your loyalties lie? I also think that has a lot to do with how honest we are with ourselves and about what we want, and again about the whole sexuality thing.
And there are those people that have no problem with being honest. They have a girlfriend and their girlfriend knows that, okay, he's with me, but he goes out on occasion with other girls.
Yeah, open relationships, open marriages, they're there.
People do things like that.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm not judging anyone, but personally, I respect that situation more than somebody who's doing all this on the side.
Who claims he's with one person or she's with one person, but he's with like 5 other people.
You know, and now, I mean, a lot of people ask the question, is it an economic thing? I think to a large extent it is. So there are a lot of girls who have serious boyfriends. And you see this a lot on the campuses, or young professionals who've come out of school and they're not earning as much as they thought they would after they've slaved to get a degree. You know, it's the way the system is. So you're not earning so much, but maybe you're on your own, you have rent to pay, you have your hair to keep, because you're not getting any kind of upkeep allowance at work. But your hair needs to look good, your makeup needs to be on point, you need to be wearing good shoes to meet those clients to you know, grab deals, bag deals. But you're not making that money. So, okay, my boyfriend too, he is about on the same level as me. We're both struggling together, trying to make it in our careers until that point where we can make a fat check and settle down together. So you see this older man, or sometimes not even an older man, it's just somebody who is just doing better than you financially. Maybe he comes from old money and has a comfortable background. Maybe he works in a field that typically pays more because there are fewer people clamoring for spaces in that industry. And so, okay, well, why not? If sex is what he wants, I'll give it to him.
And they genuinely think sex is nothing. It's like, it's just sex.
Exactly.
Sex for money,
you know,
it is what it is.
And what bothers me, and I don't understand why it doesn't bother people, people are sleeping with other people, 2 people, 3 people at the same time. They're not using protection. And this has nothing to do with pregnancy. I'm talking about diseases. HIV/AIDS, how much more real can it be? Gonorrhea, syphilis, you name it. All these things. And people don't realize that sometimes somewhere down the line, you've not had an abortion, no. You've not done anything invasive to your body that should prevent you from getting pregnant, but you want to have a child and you can't. Sometimes you had some infection 5 years ago.
Life happens.
You contracted it from somebody. You didn't really see any symptoms that look strange, and so you didn't pay any heed to it. And now you're struggling. I mean, same with men. All of a sudden, you can't perform in the bedroom the way you used to be able to.
You overperformed.
Yes, and collected things in the process. Collected some goodies. You know, and we also don't have, I feel like we've spoken on this show before about our health culture. We don't have a good health maintenance culture. So it's not really a big thing for somebody to get up on a Sunday morning and say, okay, this week I'm going to go to the hospital and do a physical checkup from head to toe, inside and out, to see
and
how
it's
I'm doing.
expensive.
It's expensive, exactly. Healthcare is expensive. Everybody knows that our national health insurance scheme is not working the way it should. And if you're going to get any kind of private insurance, health insurance, that's expensive too. And a lot of companies can't even afford to give that to their employees. So you'd rather just do your bit at home. Okay, I have a headache. And headaches mean things. It could be an infection from down there or somewhere.
Anything is possible.
You know, but you take a painkiller and that's it. And
So why not take all the precautions not to get anything?
Precisely so. And we don't.
So guys, this is the end of part 1. It's a very broad topic. There's a lot to talk about. We can talk all day, every day, but this is the end. We hope to see you guys next week, part 2 of this very topic.